Dragon Age the Veilguard director points to hate campaign over game flaws to explain abysmal failure. The hate campaign meaning anybody who's played this abomination. Corinne Busche, director of Dragon Age the Veilguard, has recently attributed the game's disappointing performance to a purported hate campaign and review bombing orchestrated by discontented factions within the game's community. However, a closer examination, reveals that the failure of the Veilguard stems not from the external harassment, but the fundamental missteps in game design and a departure from what made Dragon Age beloved by fans. Bush's claims versus reality. In a series of statements made to former Kotaku writer Hayes Madsen, Busche claims that Dragon Age the Veilguard has been the target of a hate campaign, positioning it at the center of a cultural war on social media platforms. The director attributes negative comments and review bombing to the highly polarized times we live in, suggesting that these external pressures overshadow the game's intrinsic flaws. No, dude, your game just blows. I don't know what to tell you. Like, these people, yes, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong here. The YouTubers and frequent posters on X that crapped all over this abysmal game and made fun of it, me included, who has a microscopic audience compared to a lot of these. And all that. That does play a role. But not everybody lives online. All the gamers don't live online. People just, saw the trailer. They heard about the game. And they saw gameplay footage, and they're like, nah, player. Or they played it, and it sucked, and they returned it, or they just never touched it again. But they said, quote, "It's hard. I grew up in a time when it really felt like we're there to celebrate the games and to have these shared experiences, and that drive is still there," Busche opined in the highly flattering article Madsen scribed on Inverse. Quote, "I think the discourse we see is a result of highly polarized times, and perhaps it's a little naive. I know it's hard when you have to ask the question, is this game for me? Do I belong here? And the games are better for it when we say, yes, you do belong here." That's not what a game does, bro. You just play a game if it looks cool and interesting. You don't belong here. It's that's what I talked about before. Games aren't supposed to conform to you. You conform to the game. If you don't like it, then the game's not for you, bro. Gosh. That's what, they come right out now and they'll say, This game is inclusive, and they do this with movies too. This game is inclusive, and all these people of the rainbow are involved, and all you people that think like us, you're all welcome and involved. But if you don't think like us, this game or this film isn't for you. So if you think it's crap, then just don't play it or don't buy it. And then they don't, and they're like, why didn't anybody play it? Why didn't anybody buy it? Racism and sexism, that's why. And homophobia. While Busche emphasized inclusivity and diversity as pillars of modern game development, it's essential to scrutinize whether these elements were executed thoughtfully or simply imposed to cater to a specific ambiance. The game's abysmal review scores and dismal sales figures indicate that many players felt alienated rather than welcomed. Yeah, and it goes on talking about these posts are protected. Of course they are. Corinne Busche, who is a troon, I believe, made a game for troons, and only people of the rainbow communities played it, and not even they liked it. Look at this. Review scores and sales speak louder than words. Whether individuals liked or hated the Veilguard is a massive metric based on opinion. However, the objective reality we can point to surrounding Veilguard's release is the sales numbers and review scores it garnered. These tangible metrics of a game's success A review's scores and sales numbers tell a compelling story. Veilguard has a 3.9 out of 10 score on the review site Metacritic, and according to supposed insiders who spoke with YouTuber Smash JT, the game failed to move 1.5 million units against an initial 10 million unit goal. It's not gonna reach that. And here we go. Bush's deflection, a curtain of bigotry. Total woman right there. Yeah. By attributing the game's shortcomings to a hate campaign, Busche may be deflecting responsibility from the actual flaws of the Veilguard, which ultimately rest on the shoulders of the individual in charge. In Veilguard's case, the Dragon Age the Veilguard director, Corinne Busche, the narrative can be perceived as an attempt to mask failure with accusations of bigotry, shifting the focus away from constructive criticism. That's what they always do. That's what these people always do. Busche, an individual who identifies as a gender that differs from their anatomy, seems to be playing the bigotry card a little too loudly to cover up one inescapable truth. You think the Dragon Age the Veilguard failed miserably. Yup. It could mark the end of the entire franchise. Yeah, there you go. And it goes on and on and on. But basically, Bioware itself is a failing company. The next Mass Effect game is probably going to be a mass failure. This game blew. Everybody hated it, including people that were supposed to think like them. I saw a couple people popping up in my comments, "Oh my god, it's so, it's good. I don't know why you keep talking crap about it," even though, the story was objectively looked like straight trash. Give me a freaking break here. But regardless, sorry, got lost track. It looked like trash. Everybody who played it, or most people that played it, said it sucked. They didn't move a lot of units, and they're blaming bigotry and my YouTubers and whatever. Same stuff all the time. I'm sorry, we all saw the footage. We all saw gameplay and cutscenes and whatever. It looked like trash. Everybody's ugly. Everybody is obsessed with being a they them or whatever the hell. It's stupid, and people are fed up with it. So I mean, I don't know, cry about it. The game failed. BioWare itself is failing, and it's Mass Effect 5 will not do well, and it's going to tank the company. That's all I got to say. And it couldn't happen to a better company that only cares about political agendas rather than whether or not their game is good. They think the political agenda makes the game good. No, it makes people not give a damn.